To YouTube or not to YouTube? That is the question.
The effort it takes to, like, you know, have a YouTube.
And I've tried to start a YouTube channel several times, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that.
If you want to start, like, you could start a business. You could start, like, I don't know, selling something, but you decide to go with, like, having a presence online. Why that way?
I've uploaded one before, and then I took it down, and then never did anything again. As of today, 9.8 thousand views and 102 watch hours, and a total of 35 subscribers. The Brown Sugar Shade podcast has made it. We are YouTube famous. They say most podcasts don't make it past the 20th episode. So it was like, once we get to 21, we made it.
Officially
we made it.
Just give me my money. Just give me my money.
So the reason why a lot of YouTubers probably don't make it to episode 20 is because we don't trust our ideas enough. And the thing is, YouTube is more forgiving than we think it is. Because you might have a winning video here and a losing video there, and let that losing video throw you off when your next video could be the one.
Great.
You know?
Being on social media and in the spotlight, no matter how big or small your spotlight is, it's
we
still
love you 35 people out there.
Right. It's still very daunting because, like, you're putting yourself out there to pretty much the entire world. You might we only have 35 subscribers, yes, but these are 35 complete strangers. Maybe she likes having, like, a negative comment on a video or something.
I've had 3 so far.
Yeah, she's counting. Every time she has one, she put one in her Insta story, or like her first troll. You're insane.
It was like a mom, I made it moment.
She's insane. You know, she likes that because that's her personality. But for me, like, I don't mind it, but there's no way I'm responding to them or, like, taking an interest in these random people. But if you put yourself out there, you have to be prepared to get that kind of, like, backlash. And of course, yeah, we're small and we just started, so right now it's like 1 or 2 or 3, as she says. But, you know, let's say that, like, in a year or two that this gets bigger and bigger, which is kind of on track to, you're gonna have maybe thousands, like, you know, and, like,
I welcome the trolls. I do.
She welcomes it now.
Trolls just wanna have fun.
If you welcome it when it's, like, fun and it's new and it's not that serious and it's like 3 of them, but I feel having, let's say, even 100 people just hating on you is just, I guess you're prepared for that. I'm prepared for it just because I'm having, like, a very dismissive personality. So I'm like, whatever. I'm probably not going to read them, probably not going to look into it. Well, you want to read every single comment.
Yeah, I do think it's important to respond to every comment. Good or bad.
Every comment. I feel like that would be so draining.
I think it's respectful to acknowledge that somebody took the time to communicate with us, because that's what they're doing. Some people might forget that that's what they're doing when they're comment, but what you're doing is communicating directly with the creator, and is then at the creator if they want to communicate back to you.
You have an empty cup in your hand, by the way.
Give me tea. So this is the Chinese rose tea that we had a couple episodes ago. Thank you so much, madam. That one of her friends bought for us. We are huge tea people, so if you guys want to sponsor us tea. You know, like how their creators, like, say, like, get me a cup of coffee, get us, like, a box of tea.
Twinins. I'm a Twinins girl. Any of them.
That's probably the most British thing about us.
British or Asian?
You're right. We have it from both ends.
Yeah, and we don't have any British heritage.
No, but our father did give us beans every Friday. Like, that was our Friday night meal. Like, that's the weirdest thing ever.
I feel also
like, of all the things to take away from British culture, he took beans.
And you know what? We like them.
We love them. Beans and toast hits, bro.
We like them. And the rest of our Caribbean friends are like, ew. But we're like, you know what, guys? It slaps.
I'm sorry.
It slaps.
Like a buttered toast and beans?
Baked beans on toast? Ooh.
So back on track. We're talking about YouTube or not to YouTube. So I think if I did have to say anything to anybody, I do think it's important to communicate with your fans and anti-fans. Because that's what they are. Okay. You've talked about these 3 trolls, but we've had somebody who replied to one of our shorts with a paragraph of information. I respect that so much. Like, you took the time out of your day to type that out.
What are you doing, love? Fair enough. I'm thinking from my point of view, when I watch videos, is like, I don't really care that much what other people have to say. If it's funny, cool. But, like, if I don't agree with you, I just probably would just keep scrolling, you know? That's how I am, and I guess that's my personality, and that's why I find it hard to understand.
When people talk about the algorithms and all that, the algorithms are human-centric. You viewers, you determine the algorithm. You tell the algorithm, I like this video by watching it. If you click off of it after the first 30 seconds, you're telling the algorithm, I don't like this video. So then my video is going to get buried. Algorithms it is a term that I think a lot of creators use to excuse making bad content.
How do you mean?
So in the sense that if people viewing it are not watching it, and the algorithm picks up on that people are swiping away within the first 2 seconds, that's a reflection on what we've put out.
Okay.
It's not some magical thing in the sky saying, I don't like her videos today, I'm gonna not let anybody see it.
Oh, okay. So you feel like a lot of creators give that connotation?
Right. So I can say that because if I was not working in music full time, I would be working in digital marketing because that's what I studied. So how it works is that if people are not giving the reception to that video, the platform is like, oh my gosh, if I show this to too many people, they're gonna leave the app. That's exactly how it works. They're like, people are gonna leave the app if I keep showing it to them, so they stop showing it to them.
Ooh, who knew?
I knew.
Yeah, but that's not like a general knowledge kind of thing, you know?
Oh, that's true. That's why we're here. This is a bit educational and a bit of our experience as well. So there's no magical algorithm that hates you. That there isn't. If you find, like, for us, sometimes one of our shorts hits 1,000 views, and then another short hits 200 views, and then I have to sit back and think, okay, was there something in the captions? Was it the content? Was it what we were talking about? And at the beginning is not helpful to nitpick about that because you're still figuring out who your audience is and what they like and even what you like. So don't nitpick too much about it at the beginning. But at the end of the day, don't blame the algorithm. Don't do it.
I guess, but you could say that easy because you have the background in digital marketing. You understand a bit more than like the average person would. Of course, if you start on YouTube, you will learn these things probably as you go, but you're not going to know them like straight off the bat. You know, you're not going to know them from the beginning. And I guess sometimes you're going to have to like try to figure out, okay, why is this happening and why is this happening? So then you might like misinterpret some things. So I think it's just human nature. You're gonna, you know, instead of like maybe internalizing, oh, I made a bad video, like, oh, the YouTube platform is not, you know, helping me with this. So it's not necessarily a bad thing because maybe it will help you like keep going and not get like too discouraged, especially in those like early stages when you're like maybe not having the views and you know that you would like. So I feel like you could give them a little bit of like leeway. You could give people a bit of leeway. It's like,
I think it's important as a creator to understand, regardless of what social media platform you're on, that is how it works.
Yeah, fair. So, and then that's another thing. When we talk about workload, it's like not just posting to YouTube. She's posting to TikTok and Insta.
Posting to Instagram. Yeah, our TikTok account. We have 3 followers. Thank you so much to those 3 people. If you're here on YouTube, love you. But views wise, we're getting a lot of views, but I'm still trying to figure out how. Even here, trying to figure out how we're converting
views into followers.
Views into followers, subscribers, whatever the case is. So workload, let's break it down. So I set up my tripod and I set up my phone. Did we need 2 mics? No. So let's not count the mics as like a necessary part of it. For a podcast, eventually maybe you should have a mic just to improve the audio quality, but it's absolutely not necessary. So I set up my iPhone on a tripod, film the video, stop the video, and then I put it into my editing software and cut out the parts where we're repeating ourselves.
What's your editing software? We
use Final Cut Pro. My husband is who puts in the memes. I'll put in the description the website he uses for the memes that we put. Oh gosh, he's like, oh my gosh, you're giving away my secrets. Yes, we're giving away the secrets, darling.
How could you say that?
So I'm going to put the link for that in the description if you want to include some funny stuff like within your video. That's just our personality, so we had to do it. Export the video, upload the video.
Fair enough.
Make the thumbnail. I forgot about that. Make the thumbnail. So I'm using Canva to make the thumbnail, and I'm using Canva Pro just because I can cut out the background from us, but you don't have to cut out the background. I'm just extra.
She is very extra.
Yeah,
And do you feel like you'll be able to do all this so easily if you didn't have a background in it before?
It would take longer, but it wouldn't be impossible.
Right, it's not impossible, but like you have to like kind of learn as you go kind of thing.
Yeah, I think if I didn't, because I also have experience with like graphic design, so that was a bit easier. But even so, the thumbnails we have now isn't the thumbnails we had when we started. Because remember, I had a different background. Like there was more stuff on the page. It was like a brown background.
She changed it 1,000 times because she's
3 times.
She's insane.
Because I felt like it wasn't standing out. I'm just saying at the beginning, give yourself some leeway to experiment.
Okay. And like, even just like knowing which platforms to use or which like, you know, software to use Canva or Final Cut Pro and all that stuff.
You can edit videos within Canva as well. So that's like a one-stop shop. But it's just, again, my husband, he was a videographer, is a videographer. So that's the platform he used. I learned it. But you can also use CapCut. CapCut on desktop and mobile, phenomenal.
Okay, fair enough. And it's like fairly easy and simple. So
Yeah, and you don't have to pay for that.
it's free.
Yeah, Canva and CapCut both
Oh,
have
they
free
have- it
versions
has
that allow you to do
most
90% of what we do.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's phenomenal actually, and there are a lot of videos out there. So that's setting up to film, filming, editing, thumbnail, promotion. So shorts are the promotion. Gosh, maybe you could talk a bit about the process we go through for our shorts.
Well, this is the workload bit that she's dragged me into, again, unwillingly.
Girl.
But she's like, oh my God, me and Serge are doing all the work, so you can do at least this. Well, the way they're making me do it, I guess is the way it's done. I assume, I don't know. Is watching the whole video, like after it's like, edited, time stamping, like little blocks that we could use for shorts. So say the video is 20 minutes long and you watch the whole video and like from, 0:41 to a minute and a half is like, interesting and funny. I would say like, okay, clip that, and just go through the whole video and find like little clips in between and just give them the timestamps because they're the ones who are actually gonna like now go and cut it and edit it. Because she's like, oh, that's the hard part. So you could actually just watch the video. It's your own video. Just watch it. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And it's actually not from obviously that bit. It's not that difficult. It's literally just sitting down and watching the video and just deciding what I think is funny or like interesting that I can put into a short. But that's another thing about it as well, is like when you're watching your videos back, I guess it's like now you have to be, it's very subjective what I think is funny, what she thinks is funny. Like if she does the timestamp for shorts, it's going to be different to if I do the timestamp for shorts. Cool. But you just post into TikTok and you just post into Insta on like your own personal page, it's such a different vibe to when you're doing it for something like, obviously you're making this like into a job, so you're doing it professionally. So it's like she's looking at the algorithms every day and sending us, oh, we did this, and oh, you can only post to TikTok 3 times because after 3 times,
oh gosh,
TikTok thinks you're like a bot.
Yeah. Oh, and so once the shorts are clips and edited, I do that in CapCut, do the auto captions, done deal. So posting the promotional shorts. We are aiming to do like 9 shorts per video. And that's because I tried to post 6 shorts to TikTok, and the first 3 got a lot of views, and the second set of 3 got 0 across the board. And I was like, that's kind of strange. So it was like, maybe I just post 3 a day, and I deleted them and posted the next 3 the following day, and they got like the regular set of views. So again, there's a lot of trial and error involved, and you don't have to use TikTok. You don't have to do Instagram. YouTube, thankfully, has both of those elements built in, and a lot of our views on the long form come from shorts. Yeah. So I do think it's important to consider that when you're starting to include shorts. You don't have to do 9 shorts per long video. We're insane.
She's insane.
I'm insane.
I feel like another part of it is like, from getting people from like TikTok to Insta is difficult because if you're like me and you're scrolling, I'm not gonna leave one platform to go on another platform to watch something, like to watch the entire like different form of content. So if I'm already on YouTube in the first place, it's probably more likely like if you're watching a short, like, oh, that's interesting, because then the long video is probably like in the autoplay and you just say, oh, let's see what this is. So you don't have to like leave a platform and go to something else, because again, if you're like anything like me, this is not gonna work. I'm gonna probably gonna click off of both of them, but like, fine, I'll do something else. Just because, I don't know, our brains are I'm very much Gen Z when it comes to this, and like very short.
Goldfish.
Yeah, super goldfish. So if I have to switch platforms, I'm already done. You've already lost me.
That's okay. That's why I said it's wonderful that YouTube has both options within itself. Yeah. So like for me, I'm not trying to get people, yes, our link is in our TikTok bio, but I'm not expecting people to do that. I'm expecting TikTok to grow and be its own little thing. So they're 2 different platforms. They're 2 different criteria to like start earning money. So I'm aiming for both, honey.
I didn't even know that you earn money from TikTok.
You can earn money from TikTok. It's not necessary to do the other channels. It's just a matter of why you're doing it. For me, unemployed, need money, so I'm doing everything. And
she wants 7 income streams, so this will be I guess,
if possible.
She wants to what do you want? You want like $1 million in how many years?
Next year,
yeah. So this is part of her.
Oh, and also if you're depending on what country you're from, the criteria is different. So I think the YouTube criteria is different here in the UK. And TikTok in the UK, you have to have at least 10,000 followers and 100,000 video views in the last 30 days.
100,000 in 30 days.
100,000, but on YouTube, it's 3 million on YouTube.
But it's not in 30 days, is it?
In the last 90 days.
90 days. 90 days is a lot more time to like garner views than 30 days.
So 100,000 in 30 days to you sounds better than 3 million in 90 days on YouTube.
Fair point.
Both of those are insane.
Yeah, that's an insane like target to hit. I guess you also have like a timeline in your head. You want to do this. You want to be like monetized in like how long? Like what, 6 months?
Within this year, ideally. I would really love to be monetized within this year. So I'm doing as much as we can. Definitely uploading a long form every week and uploading 3 shorts every day.
Which is a lot.
A lot.
Yeah, but I guess like if you're doing this as a normal person.
Yeah, and if you're normal.
And you have a full-time job, then obviously like if it's something that you like enjoy doing and you like, you know, if you have something to share and something to say, maybe like having that goal of like 6 months being monetized, maybe that would not be the focus. And then you can take your time. Be consistent, but like take your time a bit more than doing what she's doing. You
need to at least post the long form once a week. I think that's the minimum. If you can stomach it, 1 short a day. Like if that's possible. You can
manage it, yeah. And I also think making the videos before you start posting, like say you have 1 video, I wouldn't post from the first video you have. Mm-hmm. Like have like maybe 5, so you can almost like be ahead of it. So if you have to post every week, you have, before you even start your first video and you start like upload anything to your channel, have a few already in the lineup.
Is it for you? Is YouTube for you? If anything that we do in this life, we have to know why we're doing it. If you don't really have a reason,
something you
an
find
anchor,
fulfilling.
I think I want to call it an anchor.
Okay, that's
if you don't have an anchor, if you don't have a why that is pushing you to do this thing, let's say is your empty fridge or your empty bank account in this case, which could lead to an empty fridge.
Your kind of shitty job.
Those are some everyday anchors that I feel everybody can relate to. Or maybe you're in a really good job, it just sucks the life out of you, or you don't like your boss or how he or she speaks to you.
Or the work environment is really toxic.
Or you can't find a job, you know? Like there are different anchors that you can use. It's going to be unique to everybody, but you need an anchor to get you through starting any new venture. And this is a new venture, especially if you're starting from scratch. If you don't have experience editing or making a video or whatever the case is going to be a bit of a push at the beginning, but you're going to get into a rhythm.
Yeah, that's true. That's what happened with me, because again, I was like the unwilling participant in this. Halfway through, I was like, oh, you know what? I kind of low-key like it. I actually find this actually fun. Like, it's a fun thing to do. It's a nice idea. I can't believe I'm saying this in front of her. But I think I'm going to regret this. But I think her involving me in like some of the other side of it actually made it a little bit more exciting. Of like actually doing the shorts and like picking the topics and doing the prompts. And because what we did is maps out how many videos you need. And I mapped out the dates. So I was like, oh, we should be posting every week. And if we post every week at this rate, it's going to get us to January 2026. And I found that exciting. I found like, oh my gosh, this is like a real tangible thing that, you know, as the process goes along and you can see the progress you're making and the things you're doing and actually like find some sort of enjoyment in it, it becomes easier as well.
It's crazy. Like after you know what you have to do, the process of it gets so much easier. And CapCut does a lot of the work. You just hit all the captions, just make sure there are no like mistakes.
And even if it's a mistake, it happens.
It's so easy to fix. Like we've posted some videos where the captions had errors.
And I think if you're like me, I'm typo queen. I don't even notice errors because like if you hear and if you're listening and watching at the same time, you know what the person is saying.
Yeah, your brain fills in the blanks, you know?
So it's not even a big deal.
Yeah. So. But if it's a case where you are considering that maybe YouTube specifically is not for you, there are several other ways to share your voice. Like Kayla's a writer And I do intend for us to have a website one day and have a blog that kind of follows follows the episodes. So like we'd have a blog about to YouTube or not to YouTube. So there are other ways to share your voice if you feel like maybe video is not your thing.
Not you
Long-form
outing
video.
me. Not you outing me. You just do that out there.
No, but
I was ready
I
for
think there's like no right or wrong way to kind of share your story or to share your voice or to share what you think you have that's important for other people to know about.
Privacy becomes so important of like how much you want to share and what you want to share.
Yeah, and you can decide that. Like for us, I talk about my husband a lot because Diana in the Height, Kayla talks about her boyfriend. We talk about our parents. We talk about our friends.
Because even like a couple of videos in, her husband was like, y'all share a lot of information, and we're both like, yeah.
Nah. If it was a stranger on the street, I'd tell them the same stuff. Like, come on.
Yeah, but obviously that's not everybody. Not everybody wants all their business in the streets. And then this, from a safety point of view, they got into an argument about having our blinds up or down. And we decided it's fine to have them up because of what you can see. You can just see the sky and like houses that look like any place in England because they all look the same, guys. But stuff like that, like being careful of like what you're sharing, because obviously they're recording in our house, so not having any
markers, like location markers.
Like location markers, and it's important to think of, but you probably won't think of so much in the beginning where you're like you don't really have a huge platform or whatever. But
people go back and watch those old videos when you blow up.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to be conscious of that kind of stuff as well. But yeah, like sharing what you're comfortable with and doing what you're comfortable with.
Rude and black.
Rude.
You see? Rude.
It's not gonna catch on.
Oh my god.
It's not going to catch on. Carry on.
Would life be better or worse if we could read minds?
Worse. I have so much intrusive thoughts.
You're so right.
I have so
Life would
many
be
intrusive
worse.
thoughts. Oh,
I forgot about those.
My managers, my friends. At some point, everybody would hate me. At some point.
Would it force us to be honest though?
I guess so.
Is it so bad to be 100% honest?
But sometimes I can't. I haven't even thought through my feelings yet. Before your mind is processing. Like I might, just because I think something doesn't mean that that's like how I feel about it, like wholeheartedly. I might just think something in the moment because maybe I'm hungry, maybe I'm mad, maybe I'm sleepy. Like give me some time to process.
Yeah, I think that's on a privacy point. Because, again, you're still processing and your mind is just making up options,
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be worse.
It would definitely be worse. I feel like I have to tell people that's not what I actually think. Just give me a second first. Give me some food first.
Okay. Is being the main character just a fancy way to say delusional?
Delulu. Who says delusional? She's so old.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. I'm saying.
The word is delulu.
Have you ever been smacked with an iPad?
Yes, but like being delulu isn't necessarily a bad thing. You're delulu.
I think being the main character is normal. Or feeling like you're the main character. Like you are the main character in your own story.
Right, that's why I said it's not necessarily like, it's not a bad thing. Like you should feel like the most important person to you. Be delulu.
There's some people who need to consider themselves to be the main character. And I'm speaking to women who let their men be the main star of their lives, or even their children. You are the main star,
or just people in general who let other people just be the main star of their life. So other people on pedestals, like
don't do that.
No.
And this kind of leads into the next one. What if the world is just one big simulation and we are NPCs or main characters? They are NPCs. Have you met any NPCs? Because I have.
What does NPC mean again?
A non-player character. So they're people who don't have like a personality. They don't have a strong role in the game. They're just
there.
They exist.
Oh, they're just there to like make the game look like it has people.
Yeah, almost.
So
they might have a line to say here and there, but there's nothing.
They don't have. Yeah, they're just like.
Yeah, they're not like a new branch to the plot. They're just like a pebble in the.
Okay, you're just okay. Yeah, understood. So the question is, what?
What if the world is one big simulation and we are NPCs or main characters?
Well, we can't be NPCs because we all have our own. Like,
some people, I think they're NPCs. That's what I was trying to say.
Oh, you think they're NPCs?
They're people that are NPCs. They're plants.
Damn.
Like I've had a situation where like there was a friend group and there was like an invitee, like a friend of a friend. And this person was copying everything what the friend that brought them was doing. Like it was like if they laughed at something, they laughed at something. If they took a sip of their drink,
That is creepy.
and it was a case where it was just like the reason why I say NPC, it was a case where they blend into the story, but they don't actually add anything to it.
But then maybe that's just their personality. Maybe they're in a new environment. They don't really know anybody else there except their friend.
Or maybe he's a robot and he's just trying to look human. I don't know.
Okay. Could go either way, I guess. But yeah, I feel like everybody has to be a main character in their own, even if it's a simulation.
You've never met an NPC?
No, not to that extent. That is creepy. I would be very freaked out if I met a person like that.
Like one of the YouTubers I follow, Kelly Stamps, like she felt like she met an NPC. She was like in a grocery store parking lot, and this person was just standing up in the middle of the road. It was like,
maybe they're high or crazy.
Or maybe they're just an NPC.
Or maybe
they're glitching the
NPC.
system.
Okay, conspiracy theorists.
But again, I said this before, but I think maybe, like I believe in God. Maybe we're just his Dungeons and Dragons. So we are a game, and
So
they're non-player
just-
characters, and they're main characters.
Fair point. I mean, anything is possible, huh?
If there was anybody who could play Dungeons and Dragons with 1 million characters, it's him.
True. Fair point. We might be NPCs. Who knows? But I feel like we have too much autonomy because you do some dumb shit.
Some of us are main characters.
Some of us are main characters. And some of us are just
And the main
NPCs.
characters, we get that list of options. Like say when we wake up in the morning, we have the option to get ready for work, hit snooze, like go to the gym, and we make those decisions. Like we hit.
So there's like four, like let's say 4 or 5 paths, and you're choosing.
So yeah, back to the topic of the story of the video. YouTube is not for everyone, but it's for most people. I think it genuinely is for most people.
Yeah.
Even if you don't realize it's for you initially, after some time, I think you get into the swing of things and it could be your thing.
It could be, yeah. And like in this day and age, there's, as we said, like there's no like set path to like success and whatever. Going to school, going to university doesn't guarantee you a job that pays well.
It does not.
Neither does this. But maybe it will in the future. Maybe it won't. Like, you know, I think we just owe it to ourselves to try.
Kayla doesn't believe in doing this. She really hates when YouTubers do this. But like and subscribe, guys.
So cringy. Maybe they're just not interested that much. And then you don't want empty subscribers, do you?
No, I don't.
Exactly. So if people want to subscribe, they'll subscribe. You don't have to like. And that's why I don't like it. Don't tell me to do something. If I want to do it, I'm gonna do it. Leave me alone.
So please, whatever.
You get me?
But some people forget. Like sometimes I'm watching a video and it's only when they say, "Have you subscribed yet?" I'm like, "Oh, I like you. I like this video. I didn't even think about subscribing."
Really? I don't forget. If I really like something, I'm gonna hit like and subscribe almost immediately. And I feel like if you tell me to it, now I'm like, back off.